Kelly Hoffman. I am an HR specialist for a CPG manufacturer, and I'm from Dallas, Texas. I was invited to an information session at Brad and Cynthia's house, and I just wanted to find out a little bit more about what the 72-day contest was. I didn't really understand it at the time, but I went and got some information, and on a whim I decided to join. So really it was for health reasons. My husband and I actually joined Get You in Shape at the same time I joined the 72-day program, and we were getting ready to go on a fly fishing vacation in Colorado, and we wanted to be physically ready to wade in strong stream currents and to climb over boulders and fallen trees and to be able to really balance ourselves well in streams where we might be up to our waist in strong currents. So we joined Get You in Shape, and I was really impressed with the information given for the 72-day program and thought, wow, this could be a way for me to really boost my results and have a good short-term result. And so I signed up on the spot without giving it too much thought, and it was a great thing for me. The first week, you drink some fiber drinks, you drink some meal replacement shakes, you take a lot of vitamins, and I noticed right off the bat that I was feeling fairly energetic on the program, especially with the Spark. You know, if I had a low point during my day, I could drink a Spark and it would perk me back up again. But I noticed that my body was just processing my food better, and I had a lot of energy, and the meal replacement shakes were filling and low calorie and full of great nutrition. So I really enjoyed the program right off the bat, coupled with the exercise. I started to see some results immediately. I think during the first week I actually dropped a good 7 pounds. I would have a crash every afternoon where I didn't have any energy, probably around 2 or 3 o'clock, where I felt like sleeping, and I would just kind of struggle through the end of my day. I would make dinner, we'd have dinner, we'd clean it up, and then my husband and I, we would flop on the couch and watch TV, and usually I'd fall asleep around 9 p.m., and I was so tired I could hardly keep my eyes open. Since the 72-day contest, my life has a lot more energy. I wake up every day at 5 a.m., I wake out from 5:30 to 6:30. I'm sorry. I wake up at 5 a.m. I exercise from 5:30 to 6:30, and typically in the evenings now I have a lot of energy. So much so, in fact, that I sometimes don't feel like going to bed until 11 p.m. So it's a dramatic change from where I started, where I didn't have a lot of energy and I was really falling asleep at around 9 p.m. and I was struggling from about 2 to 9 p.m. to stay awake and stay moving. Now I have a lot more energy, and I'm not just watching someone else live their life on the TV. I feel like I'm living a lot more active life and enjoying my life a lot more. Well, for sure, exercise. You know, we joined the Get You in Shape bootcamp in addition to doing Advocare, and I have to say the exercise has put a lot more muscle on my body, and I feel totally different. In addition to being able to get into some clothing that was too tight for me a couple months ago, I actually have a lot more muscle and a lot more stamina and cardiovascular strength and just physical strength in general. So that's been a really amazing benefit to me, to feel that my body is just physically stronger and that I am able to move longer. Recently I completed my first 5K, and I didn't even think I could run it, and I was able to complete it. It took me like 45 minutes. I'm not much of a runner. When I started the program, though, I could run hardly at all, and now today, here I am, I'm able to run a little over 3 miles. So it's dramatically changed my life, and I wouldn't go back at this point, even though the 72-day contest might be over. I have big plans for myself physically and health-wise, and I'm going to give myself a whole year to keep going and doing the same things that I've been doing for the last 3 months. Some other tools: I wear a polar heart rate monitor with a chest strap, and it wirelessly sends my heart rate to a watch, which I can monitor when I'm exercising, and it helps me know when my heart's kind of at its max and I should back off a little bit, or when I'm not really going as hard as I might think and I could go ahead and push my body a little bit harder. And I also have noticed that with the heart rate monitor after I exercise, I think one of the good tests of like physical fitness is how quickly your heart rate recovers once you've worked out. And I've noticed my heart rate comes back down to a much more comfortable resting rate much faster than it used to. So that's been very rewarding. And the heart rate monitor helps me with all of that. I also have a heart rate monitor on my iPhone, which is just a couple of dollars, and I like to see what my resting heart rate is throughout the day. But I've noticed my resting heart rate has come down from the beginning of the program where I was at like 90 beats a minute. Now when I'm sitting at my desk working, my heart rate actually drops somewhere between 60 and 70 beats a minute. So that's been really, really rewarding, and I've enjoyed tracking that on my iPhone as well as wearing the heart rate monitor when I'm exercising. The MyFitnessPal app, we've been watching our food, both my husband and I. My husband hasn't been in the program, but he sort of has been because we've been working on our health together over the last couple of months. But the MyFitnessPal app, tracking our food, knowing how many calories, kind of watching our fat versus our carb versus our protein intakes has really helped us a lot. And the program is completely free on my iPhone, so that's been really rewarding. And there's a lot of foods in the database, so I'd say more often than not, all I have to do is start typing and it pulls up exactly what I've eaten, and I can track it in my daily log and see how I'm doing and know when to stop eating. That's a big benefit. And then I think just the Advocare products themselves are fantastic. They've helped me to eat more nutritionally throughout the day. I definitely love the vitamins, especially the fish oil. I really enjoyed the fiber drink. The taste of it wasn't so great, but I could tell it really helped my body process food a lot better. And the meal replacement shakes are awesome if you're on the go, if you're somebody who maybe is eating fast food because you don't have a lot of time. Instead of the fast food, you can turn to a delicious and filling meal replacement shake and get what you need on the go, and still be on plan. So I love the meal replacement shakes, and I think that those are going to become just a main staple of my daily diet, especially in the morning for breakfast. My sister and I were talking about how breakfast, especially for Americans, doesn't tend to be a very nutritionally dense meal. And so the breakfast shake, that's an ideal meal to swap out a breakfast shake or a meal replacement shake with, because those tend to be low calorie and be packed with nutrition. So that's been one really great healthy swap that I'm going to take with me even as I exit the 72-day program. Well, I think, I got a lot more support from the trainers. I got calls and texts, and I saw them on a regular basis, and they asked me questions and offered answers and solutions to things that I was struggling with. So I felt like there was just a lot of one-on-one touch points for me, whereas before I might go and weigh in on a once-a-week basis and never really talk to anyone except for once a week or less than that. And I'd say the exercise, just being part of the Get You in Shape boot camp for me. I've never had such a structured approach to exercise, and even though I could do this on my own, I hadn't been in the past, and I just found it was really motivating to be in a group setting where I can get energy from other people that I'm working out with, as well as get help from the trainers, and also just to feel very confident that I'm doing the exercises appropriately and to my fitness level, so I'm getting the maximum benefit from that hour that I spend exercising 3 or 4 times a week. And then just the results for me. So I've had pretty good amount of weight loss, despite the fact that I've been on vacation, that I have had friends in town, that I've had a wedding to attend, and opportunities where I could really do a lot of eating and drinking. I think I've done pretty well. So in just a little over 2 months, I've lost 13 pounds and about 1 to 2 inches off of all of my measurements. But the more rewarding thing, or the most rewarding thing for me, and it's been unexpected, is my cardiovascular health. So I had a mild blood pressure issue. When I started the program, I was on prescription blood pressure medication. My blood pressure tended to run like a little over 120 over 80, or mid 80s, and I noticed a couple weeks into the program that I was feeling kind of dizzy and lightheaded. So I started monitoring my blood pressure and realized that I could maybe back down my dose a little bit. So instead of taking 1.5 pills twice a day, I started taking 1. then twice a day, then I started taking a half twice a day, and pretty soon I realized that my blood pressure was holding steady at 110/70 without any blood pressure medication. Also, my resting heart rate has come down, like I said, from 90 beats a minute down to about 60 to 70 beats a minute when I'm sitting working throughout the day. So that's been just a huge benefit for me, and I can see that I'm physically in better shape. I feel that I'm in physically better shape. My clothes fit better, but I also have proof that my heart is pumping much more efficiently, and there's a big correlation between a more efficient heart and a longer life. So just those things alone have convinced me that even though the 72-day challenge might be over, this is a lifestyle and a commitment that I want to continue with for at least another 6, 9, 12 months, probably another year is my guess. And then beyond that, I'll probably stick with it because I love it so much and I feel so great. Don't wait like I did. I waited 2 months before I picked up the phone and actually made the call to talk to Brad at Get You in Shape. And I thought I wouldn't fit into the program. I thought I was too out of shape, that it might be for more elite athletes looking for peak performance, but that just wasn't the case at all. It's definitely a program for people of all ages, people of all abilities. If you're not feeling great today, it's totally within your power to make the change, and I would make it sooner rather than later. If I could have felt this way 6 months ago, I would have done it a long time ago. So don't wait like me. Don't hesitate to pick up the phone and do something for yourself that'll really benefit you both in the short term and the long term.